Hey guys, welcome back. We are doing lesson 17 for phonics, so let's get busy. Let's share. All right, let's get rid of all this stuff floating. All right, lesson 17, let's get busy. Our learning targets, I can read words with different spellings for the k and j sounds. And we're not doing the next one where we're planning and drafting an opinion piece because we don't do the writing portion. So our spelling tree, we're going to talk about the k and j spellings. So the completed trees for j spelled with a G, we have college and merge. Then we have the k sound spelled with K, kicked and skipper. We have the double C as in soccer. We have CK spelled with kicked, black, and stack. And then we have the C with came, crawled, and campsite. Those all make the k sound. So we had the j and k spelling trees. So we are going to read the Bone Man. So let's discuss what happened in the last story we read. So can you describe the bone Kate and Max found? So let's talk about what happened last time in our story. Well, Max and Kate went on a hike, didn't they? And they took their forks because they were going to be searching for rocks. So they started digging, and come to find out, instead of finding a rock, they found a huge bone. So this bone, remember, was kind of rounded on one end, had two knobs on one end, and it was long and slender, wasn't it? What kind of bone it was? So the title of the story today is The Bone Man. In today's story, Kate and Max visit a man who is an expert on bones. And an expert means he knows a lot about bones. So let's look at some spellings. We have the j spelled with G-E as in college and charge. We have other two-syllable words, western, jeepers, extinct, and our tricky words, picture and today. So it says turn to page 50 in our readers, but you don't have a reader and I have slides. So what we're going to do is use this slide here. It says, what do you notice about one of the words in this sentence? He is big. You're right. There's a word in there that is slanted, and that is called italics. That means that we read that word with expression. So we go, he is big. So let's look at some vocabulary. College. It's a school where a person can go and take classes and earn a degree. And usually college comes right after school. We have the word T-Rex, a short for Tyrannosaurus Rex, a very large meat-eating dinosaur. We have jeepers, something a person may say when they are excited or surprised. Jeepers. We have the word sweet, meaning awesome. We've got all wiped out, meaning like they're all gone. Something happened to make a or a thing disappear. Our next one, looked at me like I was from Mars. Looked at a person like they were very strange, like someone from another planet who didn't know about how things are on Earth. And then test. A set of questions and or experiments used to find information about something. Test. So let's read to find out about the Bone Man and what he has to say about Kate and Max's discovery. So we're going to go there. We will escape and get into our story here. Let me get this bar gone again. All right, the Bone Man. The next morning, Jack said, I just had a chat with a man from Western State College. His name is Ron Fitch, and he is an expert on bones. He has written lots of books. If we bring him the bone, he can tell us what sort of bone it is. He is a bone man? Asked Max. Yep, said Jack. We got into the truck. Jack said that I was in charge of the bone. I wrapped it up and set it on my lap. When we got to the college, we gave the Bone Man the bone. When he saw it, he broke into a big grin. And there he is, and look at the Bone Man. He's grinning, isn't he? The bone man bent down and said, I could be wrong, but it looks like you found something big here. I have to do some tests, but I'll bet this is a bone of a T-Rex. Sweet, yelled Max. What's a T-Rex? I asked. Max looked at me like I was from Mars. Kate, he said, a T-Rex is like the coolest, biggest reptile of all time. The bone man went and got a book. He pointed to a large picture of a T-Rex. Jeepers, I said, he is big. Why have I never seen a T-Rex like this at the zoo? The bone man smiled. So did Nan and Jack. You can't see a T-Rex at the zoo, the bone man said. They were all wiped out a long time back in the past. The T-Rex is extinct. All that's left of them today are bones preserved in the ground, and there are not a lot of bones. That's why it's such a cool thing that you found this bone preserved in the side of the cliff. And there's the picture of the T-Rex. All right, so let's go back into our slides. All right, so who is the narrator telling this story? It's Kate, isn't it? Yeah. Jack told Kate that she was in charge of the bone. What does that mean? That means she has to look after it, right? So what did Kate do? She looked after it. What does it mean that Ron Fitch is an expert on bones? Now remember, an expert means that he knows a lot about bones. What did the bone man do when he saw Kate and Max's bone? He grinned really big, didn't he? Why do you think he did that? Because he knew what kind of bone it was, didn't he? Number 5, why do you think Max looked at Kate like she was from Mars? Well, you would think that everybody would know what a T-Rex was, right? And she didn't. So he kind of looked at her like, what? You don't know this? Number 6, the bone man said the T-Rex is extinct. What do you think the word extinct means? And how do you know? Well, extinct means that it's not existent anymore. And we know that by reading about dinosaurs that are no longer around, meaning they are extinct. All right, so let's go into our worksheets here. And we are going to 17.3. All right, it said 17.1, but we are going to skip 17.1 and 17.2. All right, so let's look at the bone man. Number 1, who is Ron Fitch? Is he a Nans? Is he an expert on coins? Is he an expert on bones? You decide, but we don't need the page number. Number 2, Max tell Kate a T-Rex is? The T-Rex is the biggest and fastest insect of all time. The T-Rex is the coolest, biggest reptile of all time. Or the T-Rex is the biggest and fastest dog of all time. But no page number, please. Looking at number 3, which word is the noun in the coolest, biggest reptile? Just write down the noun. Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. Number 4, why is it so cool that Kate and Max found a T-Rex? Ooh, explain that one, okay? No page. And number 5, what should Kate and Max do with a T-Rex bone? What do you think they should do with it? That's your opinion. Okay. So let's go back to our slides. We're going to skip this writing process because we're not going to talk any of that because we don't do the writing with this. And there's a lot of those, so we're going to skip several of them. Okay. It says our learning targets. I can read words with different spellings for the k and j sounds, and I can plan and draft an opinion piece about Kate's book. So before we go, I'm going to take you back over here to 17.4, the take home. If you notice, you have to choose a word that goes in those sentences. The words are morning, scratching, biggest, large, stretched, rocks, kitchen, and batch. All right. And you've got those 4 sentences, and then you're coming over here and you've got 4 more sentences over here to fill in. Okay. Make sure you turn that in with that worksheet for the bone man. All right. So we'll stop sharing. Okay, so in this lesson, you do not do 17.1 or 17.2, okay? It's in this video, and I will also add it to the directions in Classroom, okay? All right, my friends, thank you for joining me, and I will see you back here tomorrow.